After hearing Andrew Thomas talk about if he's going to play or not play in week one, I am officially worried. We're going to break that down on today's show. But first, if you want your all-pro left tackle out there protecting the blind side of Russell Wilson in the week one matchup against the Washington Commanders, go down right now and hit that thumbs up icon for me, because if he doesn't play, I'm not feeling too good. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for rolling in. I hope you had a good long weekend. I know I did. Got to go see the fam. Celebrate my grandmother's 95th birthday. Shout out to her. But it is game week, and we are on to the Commanders. Hopefully we're on to the Commanders with Andrew Thomas. He said this: I want to be back, but I don't feel comfortable. But if I don't feel comfortable to perform at the level I think I can, I don't think it makes sense for me to be out there. I'm not feeling good that he's going to be playing week one. We know he started training camp on the PUP list. They took him off the PUP list a couple of weeks into that. He just started to practice a little bit over the last week, and it doesn't seem like it is progressing all that well. New information came out over the weekend that Andrew Thomas actually had a second surgery on that foot where he had that Liz Frank injury back in April. This is supposed to be an injury that could span from anywhere from 6 months to 10 months. And when you have to go through a second surgery like he did, that's going to push the timeline back a little bit further. Some good news, I guess. He was back at practice on Thursday, in full pads, but he didn't really do all that much, just really participated in individual drills. I mean, it's good for him to get out there and start to get loose and start to run around, but it sounds like we're moving at a slower pace than I think anybody would like. Thomas talked about playing in week one and what he's been doing at practice, saying this: I haven't really done a ton of reps at practice. I've done some individual stuff, took some one-on-one reps. I'm just trying to progress slowly, so we'll see. But like I said, I'm not making any projections right now. And that is kind of a line and a buzzword that Thomas has used all offseason long. He has reiterated he is not going to set a timeline or a target return date. He is at the point where if he is not at 100% and he doesn't think he can play his best football, he's going to wait. And I don't mind that. I don't mind not rushing him back. But I also think that Andrew Thomas at 75% is better than anything the Giants have at left tackle. But if it could cause further injury, I definitely understand him wanting to sit out. This tweet caught my eye, saying Andrew Thomas told reporters he was staying on his rehab this weekend and was planning on taking a big first step last Friday by beginning to run. So if you weren't running by Thursday, how are you going to play the following Sunday? Good news, starting to run on Friday, but it still doesn't sound all that promising. Thomas saying this: I think that's something I guess I'll have to cross when I get there, when he was asked if he's going to play week one. I'm not really sure. I think mentally I'll be fine. I understand the offense, what I have to do, but there is some of that just the conditioning, taking reps, and feeling like myself. Asking if he's going to play week one, and he says, I'm not sure. That's about as heartbreaking as it gets for me and for you. Thomas missing week one is a gut punch. I think you can make the argument that he is the most important player on this roster. He already plays the second most important position on a football field at left tackle, and the way the Giants have performed with and really without him over the past couple of years paints the picture that, yeah, he's kind of irreplaceable. Listen to this. The Giants' record with and without Andrew Thomas over the last 2 years. 6-10 with him. Look, not impressive, but when you compare it to 3-15, the record without him, this shows you that he is one of the most important drivers of success in this organization. Take it a step further. You look at the points per game the Giants have scored over the last 3 seasons. When 78 is protecting the blind side of the Giants quarterback, they average 19.4 points per game. Not an amazing number. Giants have always, not always, but have been a little bit allergic to scoring points over the past couple of years. They've done a good job, a little bit, with Andrew Thomas out there. When he's not out there, they are the worst offense in the National Football League, averaging just 12.3 points per game. So you go from almost 19.5 points a game to not even 12.5 points a game without a 7 points per game difference when Thomas is on the field compared to off the field. He's one of the best in the business. Over the last couple of seasons, since 2021, Andrew Thomas has the 6th best Pro Football Focus grade of all left tackles. So you combined all that, the record, the points per game, the individual performance. He is awesome. And I understand you cannot afford another injury. So you don't want to rush him back. You want him to take his time. You want him to feel comfortable. You want to minimize the risk and the chance of him further hurting himself. But damn, man, it's week 1. It's been a long time since you've played football. You're so damn good. We just want to see you play because we know how important and how much you can change how good the New York Giants are. Not having him out there, that's going to stink. With the NFL season back, I want to welcome back the HOF app here on New York Giants Now by Chat Sports, a place where you can make smarter bets. And all the real ones out there, we got an awesome deal for you. When you download the app, you use the promo code CHAT, you're going to get a 7-day free trial plus 50% off the first month. I'll make sure all that information is clickable down in the comments and the description. You can use the HOF app to help you bet smarter for the Giants and their season win total. Have you ever been one leg away from hitting a massive parlay, but it got ruined by an unlucky buzzer beater, maybe an unexpected strikeout, or even a blocked field goal? We've all been there. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of throwing money away at parlays that I have a good gut feeling about. That's where the HOF app has completely changed the game. The HOF app was founded by huge sports fans who just happen to be a bunch of giant data nerds that graduated from Ivy League schools. The HOF app is going to give you a leg up on Vegas by using historical data, matchup grades, trends, and player performance insights. I've won multiple parlays recently, which included the TCU Horned Frogs beating Bill Belichick and the UNC Tar Heels. With a 4.9 rating in the App Store and over 7,000 reviews, it's safe to say the Hall of Fame app has already helped a lot of people win smarter. And for a limited time only, Giants Now Real Ones not only are going to get a 7-day free trial, but they also get 50% off their first month when they use code CHAT at checkout. So just download the Hall of Fame app on iOS or Android, enter code CHAT, and you are all set. All of that information, it'll be clickable down in the comments and the description of today's show. Shout out to the HOF app for sponsoring today's video. Alrighty, I want to take a look at the New York Giants depth chart and kind of try to process who is going to be blocking at left tackle and who is going to be playing left tackle for the New York Giants. They did just officially release their unofficial depth charts for week 1, and they did have Andrew Thomas as their starting left tackle. So hopefully that means that he is going to play. I don't know. If it's not him, they have a couple of different options. They could move Jermaine Illuminor from right tackle to left tackle. They could play Hudson at right tackle, or they could play Marcus Bowe at right tackle. If they want to stay with Jermaine Illuminor at right tackle, then I think it'll be James Hudson at left tackle. This is a player that the Giants paid a little bit of money in free agency to be their swing tackle this year. They did not pay him to be their week 1 starter, and rightfully so. He was ranked 113th out of 140 qualifying tackles when it comes to the Pro Football Focus grade, 125th when it comes to pass blocking, and 88th when it comes to run blocking. Safe to say, James Hudson is no Andrew Thomas. The official injury report will come out tomorrow. I'm assuming Thomas will be questionable on that injury report. If he is, I'll have a little bit more hope, but I do see a world where he is doubtful on that injury report. And if he is, that means he's not going to play, and we could potentially still be a couple weeks away from him playing. We're also going to get some other news on that injury report as well. We'll get the status of other players on the Giants, as well as Theo Johnson. That has been a story that we've been trying to follow extremely closely here on the channel. We put out a video a couple of days ago about how Theo Johnson hasn't practiced since that week 2 preseason matchup against the New York Jets. He wasn't even on the sideline in that game. And what's weird is we don't even know what the injury is at this point. We'll figure out tomorrow. When that injury report comes out tomorrow, we're going to find out what it is, and we're going to find out how serious that injury is. With the Giants going out and releasing Greg Dulcich, though, maybe this is just me trying to be a little bit more optimistic and be a little bit excited. Makes me not worry as much, because if you thought Theo Johnson was going to miss time, you would have just kept Dulcich and played him. But he's not on the team. He's not on the practice squad. So you're going to be looking at Daniel Bellinger to potentially be that guy that steps into that tight end one role. Chris Manhertz is just an extension of the offensive line. He's a third tackle on the football field. He'll slide into the backfield a little bit. He's not going to be a factor in the passing game, even though he did catch a tight end last year. When you get to the red zone and goal line, he could help there. Maybe you'll see Thomas Fidone, the 7th-round pick, contribute in that way. I don't know. Someone's going to have to step up on offense, even outside of the tight end room. It can't just be Malik Neighbors or bust. Like, someone else is going to have to make a play. Maybe it is Daniel Bellinger. Maybe it is Darius Slayton. How about your running back, Tyrone Tracy Jr.? He is a guy that I spent a lot of time just watching tape, reaching out to people, talking to my friends that are Giants fans, and I always ask the question, who is Tyrone Tracy? What type of running back is Tracy? Last year, 839 yards, had another couple hundred yards as a receiver. Is he a guy that's going to elevate your run game, or is he a guy that is going to be solely dependent on what is made for him by the offensive line? You're going into week 1 against the Washington Commanders team that is not a good run defense. Last year, they were the 3rd worst rush defense in the National Football League, allowing 137.5 rushing yards per game. So you can win the line of scrimmage by running the football. And if Tyrone Tracy is as good as everybody is telling me he is, then he is going to have a heck of a game if the Giants' offensive line can create some holes. Or is he just going to make it happen on his own? I think we'll see a little bit of Devin Motor Singletary. I think we'll see a little bit of Cam Scatterboo as well. But I think it will be Tyrone Tracy getting the bulk of the carries for Big Blue. And I want to see what he's got. Is he going to be a game changer back there? I don't know. I think he's a good back. Is he a great back? I think that's where I'm at this point. Is he a top 10 back? Is he a top 15 back? Is he a top 20 back? I don't know. But you're going into a game in week 1 where you're playing a defense that can be taken advantage of. I want to see number 29 run into the end zone on Sunday. My question to you before we bounce on out of here. Who do you got winning the football game? We've had a lot of Washington Commanders fans watching our videos here on the channel, and I want to make sure we drown them out in the comments section. So give me an NYG or a WAS. Who do you think is going to win? Make sure you are following me on social media. I post about the Giants every single day. So give me a follow, and let's go Big Blue.